This video is really an invitation for you to release any remaining shreds of people pleasing, taking care of other people at the expense of your own needs, of overextending yourself or being out of integrity in any way that feels like poop to your body. Hello wonderful. I'm Ellie Pascal. I'm a somatic coach and currently taking a journey to energetic power points on the planet in order to discover what they teach us about healing. And I'm delighted to be bringing this video to you today. Such an important message, particularly for empaths, particularly for you if you are looking for more aliveness, for less fatigue, for more vitality in your life. I've just spent 2 weeks back in Wales. I was called to the ocean and I took a trip to the site Waun Mawn, where it said Stonehenge originally stood. As I approached the site, it was like, here is this beautiful, glowing, almost scaled, greeny, yellowy, watery. She was in water that day, standing stone, unlike any that I've seen before, and dignity, goddess, mermaid, centered, rooted stone, reminding me to be in my own center. She was just stunning. This video is really an invitation for you to release people pleasing, taking care of other people at the expense of your own needs, overextending yourself or being out of integrity in any way that feels like poop to your body. The teaching I got from both of these sites was come back to your center, journeying with this question of exhaustion, fatigue, or even chronic fatigue. Where is it coming from, and how, as I'm journeying to the sacred sites, I'm being reminded of the importance of the unseen reality, which our ancestors knew so well, which is why they were able to see where the power points on the earth were and harness the energies there, working with the land, with the stones, with the ether. And our energy reality is deeply impactful on our life. When I had my energetic awakening 10 years ago and everything became energy, and I could suddenly see the habitual patterning in how I was showing up in the world was draining me of my energy. I'd prayed to know, how is it that I'm experiencing all of this fatigue in my body? And then all of a sudden I could see every time I people pleased, every time I did things that my head had said, no, it's fine, and it makes me feel good because I really like taking care of that person and I don't mind if I get tired. It was taking me out of my center, creating this massive fatigue in my body. So part of this video is me supporting you to drop into your center, viscerally how it feels for you, so you'll start to notice in your everyday life when you're stepping out of that, when your energy is going all over the shop. You'll start to understand that when you're going out of integrity, you might want to make a different choice, and it might just change your life. And if you're dealing with any level of fatigue or lack of vitality, this could be an absolute game changer. So enjoy. And now I'm gonna cut back to the original footage that I took right from the edge of the ocean. Hello wonderfuls. You find me on the next step of my journeying to sacred sites. I am at the coast of Wales, just been in the sea. I just have to take a breath because the energy that is streaking through my body, having just been in that incredible water. As I began to make my way out of the water, it made me cry. I felt presenced with the tides, the movement of the ocean, with the magic of that. I can look at the water and think, yeah, that's what the sea does. And then, how magical is that? Something is making that water move. The earth and the moon exert a gravitational pull on each other. Where the moon is pulling most strongly on the earth, it makes the ocean literally bulge out, and that's what creates high tide. When I go to the sacred sites such as the standing stones, I'm instinctively looking at the energy and what it's doing. But I hadn't done that with the sea before. My goodness. It was like a crisscross of energy above the water, which speaks to the fact that there's just so much gravitational pull. I feel a kind of gasp in my heart space at the majesty of life, of the earth, the sky, the ether, the energy of aliveness, and how powerful that is, and how everything, all matter, has magnetism. We are all, whether we're consciously aware of it or not, responding to the gravitational pull of everything around us, feeling it whether we're aware we're feeling it or not. And actually, my journey with what can be called chronic fatigue and this word magnetism are very linked. The fatigue in my body, it was not suddenly that my body was doing something differently, it was that I was suddenly aware of what was happening in my body because it was time for it to shift. The universe led me eventually, after 6 years of trying to make the fatigue go with working harder and doing better and being more perfect, and that didn't work. I eventually surrendered and ended up in a clinic that works specifically with trapped trauma energy in the body. That's when my Kundalini awakening really began in earnest, because my body said, oh, here's a safe space, great, and let's get rid of some of this old, blocked energy and let it go. And then there was all this capacity for the energy to move, and my goodness, did it move. And one of the things that I began to notice was I was often putting my awareness literally in the beings of other people. What does that person need? How can I tend to that person's emotions so that their nervous system will calm down, and then I get to be calm and feel safe around them? You know, and I say this with only great love for myself. I didn't know I was doing these things, and they were simply ways that I learned to feel safe in the world, and that's okay. And then it wasn't okay anymore. So I got this energetic wake-up call, and so coming back to the notion of magnetism, as I would have these profound energetic experiences of my energy leaving my body and going into another object or into another person, it was a sign to me, you got to come back to your center, honey. You got to come back to you. Be present with your true emotions and impulses and needs and wants and desires. And stop trying to be needless by putting your awareness in everybody else's experience and being numb to your own. And that was a big part of the fatigue. Stands to reason. When my energy was literally leaving me and going into somebody else, I was not grounded in my vitality. I was not in my root. I was not in my roots. The energy was not flowing powerfully, strongly, clearly. It was going in every which way direction. And it was time for me to come back to center. And through following the sensations in my body, I learned to do that. And as I took this embodied, somatic, felt sense journey, new trains of thought, new ways of being, pieces of my soul, of my personality, new ways to have boundaries, new ways to speak my truth, new ways to be in my power came in. And this came all from the standpoint of my felt sense. And now, as a somatic coach, as an embodiment coach, I now support other people to listen to their own inner knowings, their deep, undeniable truths that come from their felt sense, from their innate intelligence, your impulses, inner knowings, true desires. So take a breath with that and this notion of your center. I invite you to take a few moments now and really tune in. If you're driving, do this later, and otherwise I invite you to let your eyes close. And tune into the balls of your feet, the arches of your feet, and the flow of your being that moves up through your legs, through your precious knees, thighs, hips, in between your legs, pooling around your womb space or your hara, your pelvic bowl, your sit bones, left hip, right hip, your energetic root, where you feel or don't feel the energy most potently at your root, in your root chakra. Your center. And take a breath with those words now, your center. And it might be for you that your sense of power, real, rooted, grounded presence is somewhere in your root space, or it might be in your hip space. There's huge amounts of power and energy in your hips. what feels to be your energetic center at this point. And if you don't know the answer, that's completely fine. That's really useful information. And just take a breath with the not knowing. And it might be for you that your sense of energetic center is again a little bit higher. So maybe around the sacral chakra. So just beneath your belly button in the midsection of your body. Your energetic center. And take 3 breaths with that. And with your next breath from that center, allow the energy to drop down through your legs and into the earth, rooting you present. Here you are. What is it like for you to breathe with your energetic center while grounded with the earth? And I invite you to log this experience. And again, it might be a very, very strong, grounded, centered, solid experience for you. Or it might be one that's now germinating more in your mind, in your imagination. There's a capacity here for me to have the experience of being grounded and centered in my being, even if I don't yet quite feel that. And I invite you to let this experience that you've touched in with today nourish your week going forward. Setting an intention now filled with love to be aware when you're in your center and when you're not. When are you allowing your awareness, your energy to center in, to cycle in, to drop down, to be present in your you? And when is it gallivanting off to worry about other people, to be overexpanded, to be trying to take care or even control of other people's energy business, I call it? And that doesn't mean that we aren't taking action to take care of another person, having thoughts about how we can support somebody else or what they might need. But there is a way to do that in which you stay in integrity, which you stay in your center, which you still have your boundaries. The presence of you, the energetic centeredness of you is still fully here. And again, this gets to be playful. This can all sound very serious, but it gets to be magical and playful. Just opening playfully to this notion of being with your embodied center. Magnetizing to this central point of you. And seeing how that guides you this week. How fun, right? And if you would like support to tune in regularly to the sensations that are alive in your body, which includes what's happening for you energetically, I invite you to download my free embodiment practice called Being with the Body with Love, in which you will take nourishing, loving time to exhale, zone in, find out what's true to you according to what's alive in your body. And you can download that, keep it, this little treasure of an MP3 by clicking the link beneath this video. Or if you're in Instagram, go to my Insta bio. If you're in Facebook, check the link in the comments beneath this video. And if you have liked this video, I invite you to like it. And if you're not yet subscribed to get all the updates about this magical journey I'm taking, I invite you to click the subscribe. And I invite you to put in the chat what's arising for you when it comes to extending your energy in ways which you were okay to do and now you've had enough of people pleasing, or anything else that's arising for you. I can't wait to hear. And for now, I'm so happy to have connected with you, and Ooh, this is me, Ellie Pascal, saying goodbye for now and looking forward to coming together with you again on the next step of my journey.